So if we are looking at fullbacks, we've got an interesting variation of players now. There seems to be so many options that you almost have to pick another option for a player. Putting a left back into centre mid, into CDM from the shapeshifter variation seems to be the best way to do this now. But in terms of what we've got, there is some absolutely incredible Evos, incredible footies that are coming out, including 198 Furlan Mendy, which basically means a lot of these players are going to be obsolete. We said this from the beginning. When you do look at kind of through some of the team of the seasons, you pick out a Jordi Alba, you pick out a Firpo. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Back in the time, of course they were good. Like they're decent cards. They're not necessarily complete blowouts, but realistically now at 15,000 coins, are you going to choose a Jordi Alba over a Furlan Mendy 98, an Evo'd Theo Hernandez? Are you going to choose him over a lot of the SBC cards, a lot of the players that we've got consistently? And to be honest, same as Firpo, he's kind of in that same sort of category. Was decent when he came out. He's got a triple play style plus, decent stats. Obviously plays for Leeds, so in the championship at this point, it's not the greatest, especially with the nation, to be able to get some links, but we have enough icons now. It's not totally out of the realm, but realistically, there's no point having him at this point. So it's absolutely crazy to see some of these players that are on the better scale really struggle to find anything. When you do look at it now, like obviously the Furlan Mendes is going to be one of the better cards. Nuno Mendes would be slightly under that in my opinion. So we do kind of just fill out a few of the zones. Obviously a Trent, I think he has some ability. I would say he definitely needs an upgrade very, very soon. But then you look at like a Theo Hernandez, still arguably one of the best left backs that we've got, but he definitely needs the Evo. You cannot use that 89 on its own. He's got to have some sort of Evo. Same as Militao. I mean, even as just a 91, he's decent enough, but you want at least a triple playstyle plus at this point. Being 91 with the stats that he's got, especially because he's realistically a centre-back, you're going to need an Evo to keep him going. David Beckham, another one that I'd say is in the more very usable category. Again, can play into the CDM, so whether you think as a right back he works is a real big question here. Obviously now we're getting into like the 94s and 95s being evoed. Zambrotta's going to be a great shout, and even though you've got to watch what icons you do. Like Beckham's going to be pretty sound for the moment. Same as anybody else that has had a shapeshifter icon. I feel like they'll go away from them first. We have a lot of icons coming. So obviously when it comes to the icons in the footers team, Foudy, Maldini, Pele, Barnes, Cliver and Figo, as well as Sukera as the on this day icon. We're already having so many, 7 in this week, let alone any more SBCs. We've got 5 teams of them, meaning we could probably do more, just under maybe a bit more than half of the icons in total if they don't just add more as well. So it is going to be interesting to see who gets there. Roberto Carlos would be another one. I think as an Evo, I'd possibly even miss out potentially on the team of the year variation of him, because realistically at this point I would rather wait for another upgrade from him, because it's not the greatest. Like, he's got whipped past the dead ball. He's one of them that I do think with the right Evo could be fine, but with an upgrade would be way better. Like, you could put the 96 on and the 94, but realistically, I want an actual upgrade from him. I want to see him at the absolute top. Obviously, Thuram's going to go up there. He now is in an SB, in an evolution as well. And we've still got a few decent cards. Like, obviously, Lala could still be in here. This version of Kounde could still be in here quite comfortably. Obviously, Dumfries still puts himself on the map. He always will do. Carfu is always an interesting one because he's very much like a Roberto Carlos. He's incredible in-game, but we now need an Evo on him, really. We need to take him up to that next level, and you've got to get the right Evo as well. Just chucking him on any of them isn't going to be the right choice, in my opinion. I think he has got to get into a very specific upgrade to really warrant being in the team at this point. Carvajal is going to be another one. We did get the cam version of him, but he does have his team of the year still. It's not a bad card. I think the team of the year is slowly really coming out of rotation now. Obviously the triple playstyle plus is still there, and I think you've probably got 1, maybe 2 more weeks until really a lot of these cards come crashing down, like Ferland Mendy obviously coming into that upgrade. Maicon is still one of the better versions, I would suggest, and you've got a lot of top end. Obviously Foden, you've got Smith, you've got Charles, a lot of these path to glories that are always arguing, are they worth it? Because realistically they are, well, they do have the chance, but they should be able to see quite a good upgrade from them. Obviously the path to glories are for the Euros in the Women's Euros to be able to get up to a potential of 99 by the end of it. Whether whoever wins is going to be the big question. England do have a pretty good chance. Whether we see her get all the way up, regardless, we could see her at least like a 97 with an extra playstyle plus before they get potentially knocked out, either before the final as such. So regardless, we've got a nice card in here. The only problem I've always had is Rolfo and maybe Karchawi was the only really 2 females that I would suggest have a relatively decent chance in getting into a team. McCabe has obviously got one as well, 143. Solid card. Really nice card. But realistically, she isn't going to go into that top meta. They are going into more the very usable, more so than anything. Same as Alex Scott. We'll get onto her, and we do have Bon Pastor as well. I'd possibly be looking something around like that. Obviously, the greats of the game are going to be another chance of more upgrades for them, because obviously they have got the chance of icons and heroes to get upgrades based on how well their nation does. So Alex Scott being a big one here, you're going with the tracker 1 overall if they score 3, and then you get 99 plus an extra playstyle plus if they manage to win the Euros. So for instance, if we're going France versus England, you've obviously got Scott versus Bon Pastor. If one of them do manage to win it, you'll end up with a 5th playstyle plus and a 99 overall, which would be fantastic in itself. So just holding on to a card like this could potentially be worth it, just to see who gets there, to be honest with you. But Alex Scott has always been a very marginal, decent card. Same as Bon Pastor, she's actually got a solid upgrade this time round. Definitely coming in on the cheaper side, which is always nice as well, especially if you are brand new to the game. Does work out pretty well in your favour. Obviously Kayunde, easy one going to the top. He's had a solid upgrade from this version. Obviously he did have his 94, we've now got a 97. 4 playstyle pluses, decent on that board. 5-star, 4-star, 550k, nice and easy. Absolutely love it. Then we've also got a few of the kind of medium tiers. Like you've got a Layman, you've got a Grealish. Realistically, I just don't see the appeal in a lot of these kind of left backs from the shapeshifters. They just really didn't add too much. I mean, yes, you can get a bit of usability out of them. Like Grealish especially has got some capabilities of playing in the midfield. I'd possibly go with that. But realistically, when we do look at Lehmann, at Swanson, even Foden to some extent, it just isn't a great fit. Especially when you're looking at a winger going down. Just isn't the one. One that did look alright is Morello. Now, he obviously was a centre-back going into a fullback. He looks at least semi-decent. He's got a bit about him. Technical and quick step is the only thing that I really think really struggled with this card. I hate when they do it on the best of cards, let alone when they do it on a fullback. Like that really ruins the reputation of a card in my opinion. And I never really got on board with many of these cards. Like they're high rated, they've got the quadruples in a lot of the cases, but they aren't going to beat a lot of these top end cards. Obviously Walker would go into more of an Evo, with then Fox would be binned off. DeMarco would be usable. Di Lorenzo, you could miss him out. I'd say he's kind of due the Evo at this point. I'll keep him there because we are getting into the 95. Obviously, you've got Bronze at 95. I'd probably miss now, to be honest. Frimpong at a very basic level, they ruin that card. Honestly, as an SBC goes, technical, quick step, and anticipate's fine. Quick step's fine, but throwing the technical on him as well was an absolute waste. It really screwed him up. Gossens I'd miss out on. Grealish will go with these lot as just the kind of very last resort. Grimaldo would go there with João Cancelo. Karchawi, Sakina, however you want to pronounce her name. She has obviously got a shapeshifter version that obviously comes in a bit more expensive as a 98 striker. I weren't a big fan of her left mid version. I quite liked the Team of the Year. The Team of the Year was decent enough. Like, again, she's ruined as a left back, really, on the left mid. Because, obviously, there was no defensive playstyle pluses. So, I think I'd possibly miss out on this version. I'd give her Team of the Year a little bit of a shout still. Very much kind of like Carvajal, but just a slight bit under, in my opinion. Kirkrez, he could... I'm going to keep him there. I was going to say, he could be Evo'd. I think Skelly would be another one, but again, whether you change the position of him. Battle would be missed. Zanetti would be missed. And then from there, we've got relatively nice cards. Obviously, McCabe will go in the usable because she's got herself an upgrade on that version. If I was then looking at these kind of players and thinking who else would join the top of the top, if we look at price points of everybody and see where the left backs are coming in terms of pricing, we've got some high rateds, obviously. We'll go by price. Foden, like I say, isn't all that as a left back. I mean, he comes in at a very good rating. Price-wise, is going to be a bit lower. I don't fancy it, to be honest. Nuno Mendes, on the other hand, obviously going to be fantastic. His version here is brilliant. I'd say João Neves, as much as he is a right back as you can play him there, he is a midfielder. What anybody says, if you have to, you can put him at right back. Realistically, you want him in the midfield. Semedo, again, a bit of usability about him. Nothing too crazy in this. I think he's okay at best. I would say for me, James definitely puts himself up there. Hakimi definitely puts himself up there. I would then also go Undogi as a left back goes, is one of the better ones. Smith, on the other hand, the same as Foden, is okay at an absolute best. Like, we look at the pricing of everybody. You've obviously got the likes of James coming in at 1.1. João Neves, 900, but obviously plays the centre mid. Hakimi's 900. Maldini, I mean, you've got Maldini in there. I would have to go Evo for this version, but you're going to go centre-back for most of them. Let's be real. Then, obviously, you've got Mendy, you've got Undogi. You go a bit further down, you've obviously got Nuno Mendes again. Balde, another fantastic one that comes in. As a left-back goes, like, you think of it, you've got your Teo Hernandez, you've got your Furland, you've then got the Nuno Mendes and Undogi. It probably puts himself up there with the best of them as well. Obviously, you've got the likes of Alphonso Davies. I think drops himself down a little bit more now. Obviously, with Nuno Mendes, I do think this version still sticks up there pretty well. But I do think Balde would put himself up there. We then also have Klaus. I'd drop down one more. Like I said with Smith, very much like Foden, rating-wise fantastic. She just isn't a left back. It just doesn't work. Even with the 5 playstyle pluses, you are putting her elsewhere. So realistically, these two would be in there for the rating. I think a lot of people would go more for rating if anything. But realistically, you're just not going to utilize these players as much as they should be. Which then leaves us down to the 4 players of Gusto, Cucurella, Pedro and Spence. Now, the two kind of stand out there really is going to be Pedro and also Cucurella. Pedro is going to come in at 204. I do think he's a nice card, but he was definitely better when there wasn't as many left back and right backs in there. Same as Cucurella. I think he's great. Nuno Mendes really took the spotlight off him, and so did Undogi, to be honest. Undogi is a fan favourite of mine when it comes to a big upgrade. Gusto was the same on the right back side. He was one of the best ones in the Prem with his 88. Now there's quite a lot that's just outweighing him a little bit more. And then we do have Spence, who's again not a bad card. He's decent enough. I'd go more usable with him if I'm being brutal for him. But I'd say the rest of them would come into more of the very usable side. And like I say, you're only allowed 2 of them. So already having so many options you can go with, let alone even touching on a lot of the Evos that are available right now and what's available in the next couple of weeks is going to be very interesting to see anyway. So let me know down below what you think. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.